Hey, this is Steve Domenico here on Domenico 101 MMA, and I have a special guest on. I have Dan Cormier, the Hamburglar. Not only an awesome MMA fighter in New England, he's a friend of mine. I've been to Triforce many times. I've interviewed him many times. I've interviewed many of his training partners. He fights all over the circuit in New England. He's a flyweight. And he's here to talk about a fight announcement and some big news for New England and him, because Dan is kind of one of those flyweights that could drop a weight. He's fighting guys that are always bigger than him. Very competitive, Dan is, but Dan, you're always fighting these guys. What's going on, brother? What are you here to tell us today?
Well, as of November 4th, there's going to be a men's strawweight fight at Cage Titans.
Holy shit, Dan. This isn't news to me because you've been telling me we were talking about it behind the scenes for, a few weeks, about, this rumbling that, if they had the strawweight division in here, you would be the king of that in New England. And, there's a lot of fighters out there, the majority of the fighters that are saying the same thing. Even fighters that you have fought in the past are saying there's a strawweight division for Dan Cormier would be, he would be the king of the crop. So let's talk about how this got together and how this fight came about and what's going on about it.
Well, it's just funny because I've been trying to make this happen for about 4 years or so. And usually you can't find someone that's that size, because you just can't.
Yeah.
However, once you keep actually looking down south, Midwest, everyone is out there. It's just searching. It's all it is. And pretty much what happened is I'm on a strawweight website on Facebook where people advertise when they're trying to fight or just try to make fights happen in the strawweight division, make it noticeable. So I put that down that I was looking to fight in November, and I had a few guys actually hit me up about it, and we're making it happen under Mike Pulver's Cage Titans banner.
Excellent. Congratulations, buddy. Kudos to Mike Pulver from Cage Titans for getting this done. I think it's a great move for him. You're going to put fans in the seats. People are going to want to see the strawweight here, especially when Dan Cormier's starting it off. So, congratulations again. And what does this do for you now, my friend? You've been fighting, like you said, for 4 years. You wanted this division. You had a couple of years off with an injury. You came back. Your first fight back, you had an impressive win against Ken Murphy, who's just won at 130 pounds this past weekend. And then you had a couple of fights against guys larger than you. Johnny Campbell being one. When you fought him, you fought him a couple of months ago. How much weight difference do you feel there was in that cage that night between you and him?
I honestly felt like there was probably at least maybe 25 to 30 pounds or something like that.
And that's basically, the percentage of your fights, that's kind of how it goes for you, correct?
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, so, you're fighting, you're always fighting that bigger guy. Now, going to the strawweight, where does that put you? You're just right where you should be, correct?
Yeah, it'll be my normal walk-around weight, 128, cutting down to 115. And when I'm doing this, I'm not doing it just dumbly. I'm dieting, I'm doing all the right things, eating 6-7 times a day, smaller meals still, and keeping my hydration up, just burning fat now and slowly putting on a little bit of muscle, but more so lean muscle. That way I can still carry some water weight on me as well.
Excellent. Now, give that page. You talked about the strawweight page on Facebook. What's the name of it? Just in case there's going to be other fighters who want to get on there, because if Cage Titans is getting this going, there could be other organizations around the area that go, if these guys are coming out, let's get it going. So, what's the name of that page?
The name of the page is 115 pound strawweight division, and it has UFC and ONE FC listing on it. so that way they can see what's going on and just kind of overlook it as well.
Excellent. And you mentioned that's basically where you got this fighter. Let's talk about him. Now, what's the name of the gentleman you're going to be fighting?
I am fighting Adam Roll out of Ohio.
And now he's coming. Now he there's little things that you put into this. Like, what you had to sacrifice a little bit to get this fight going, or you want to talk about that?
Well, mainly I gotta be realistic about all this, you know. So, which means I have to be willing to put 50% in just as much as the promoter is doing. So, I was willing to give up purse money and ticket money to make this happen, because to me, solidifying a division is pretty much priceless. And it just shows that if you have an open concept, that we can make anything happen at this point.
Excellent, excellent. And you know, Dan, like I said, we were talking weeks ago, and we were like, you know, you're all over that page. I was going on that page. I was talking to fighters to friend me, and you know, so they could see everything that's going on. You know what I mean? So you know, you remember I made the post on Facebook about that. You know what I mean? It was about you. You remember?
Yeah.
And we had, you know, we had some people saying, you know, not liking the division, you know, because they want the bigger guys in there. But I've always been, I've been a big fan, you know, not only big guys, but, you know, I like the smaller guys, you know what I mean? I like that fast, you know, just that speed and the transitions on the ground, just everything is just, you know, amazing. And you coming off that last fight, that's prime example. I mean, you guys, you know, you fought Johnny Cupcakes. That was an amazing fight. And you're fighting a guy 25 pounds, you know, heavier than you. I can't wait to see what you do at 115. So that's when I was like thinking when I was making the post, and people were like pushing back, and I'm saying, we're talking about Dan Cormier here, guy. I mean, this guy could be like a face of a division. I know it's a division that you guys might not think it's popular, but it's movement. I mean, it's showing, like you said.
Get it started.
Exactly. So if we get one division started, and it isn't, you know, it isn't that easy, because like you said, you might have to give things up to make it happen. But like you said, it's an investment for you. It's a showcase, because you got these other organizations bigger that, you know, do have a strawweight division that you could, you know, jump to down the line and really get noticed. Maybe these things will get legs. You know, I know the UFC doesn't like the flyweight division, but you know, that's the UFC. I mean, things change every day, and you know, I'm gonna pump up the division. And you know, any guys out there, any fighters out there who you know want to get attached and get in the movement, man, friend me, and you know, friend Dan, join that page. We're gonna have that on this interview, so everyone will be able to join it and get involved. So Dan, what is your mindset now? Like you said, you know, you're getting your diet ready. You got this fight. What's the date? It's in November, correct?
It's November 4th for Cage Titans.
Cage Titans 36, I think that will be. Are you? I know there's rumblings of other people on this card, but I'm very excited. I'll be there. I'll be covering it. You know, we'll blow it up. I mean, you know, there's going to be people on social media saying a couple of things here and there. So we'll see what the vibe's like. But as far as your camp, what's going on in there? Like, as far as, you know, they were backing it. You know, nobody was really saying much because nobody could say the news, or, you know what I mean? But now that it's out there, like, what's going on? Are they the big excitement in your camp there, the Triforce?
Oh yeah, everybody's excited for it now, because everyone has been saying the same thing. It's just I get outsized a lot, and it's not that I'm a bad fighter or anything like that. It would just be nice to fight someone that's the equivalent size, and then I can really showcase the skills that I do have.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not, and Dan, I mean, you at 115, I mean, you got your stand-up's incredible too. So I mean, it's going to be, I don't know what to expect from, like, you know, a 115 division with you in there. You know what I mean? So I can't wait. What else?
I can tell you this much: I'm going to turn a lot of heads.
Exactly. And another thing is there other fighters? I mean, I know there's other fighters out in the New England area that actually could fight at that. Is there any that you know by name? How about in your gym or anything that anyone have potential to actually fight here on this, you know, at strawweight?
Well, it's funny because we have Sheridan Cristofaro that's at my gym. He's an amateur still, but he's another person that can do it. Him and his twin brother, he's another one that could do it. And then there's William Grustik. I can never pronounce his last name correctly.
And he's around.
He's out of Mass.
So
I fought Ernesto before, but I know that he can make 115.
well,
And mainly, it's just a platform where now that somebody can be like, all right, well, they have this division, I can do something with it now rather than fighting the big, huge dude.
exactly. There's options. I mean, that's what we're looking for. Options. You know what I mean? Movement. And you know, you doing this. I mean, Dan, you started it. I mean, you got on that page. You've been thinking about it for 4 years, and you're getting it done, man. And I'm gonna push it as much as I can. Get people involved in it because I want to see it go. I like the little guys. I like the little fast dudes. I like the fast dudes running around, man. It's pretty cool. So
it's a little tornado.
Exactly. So shout outs, buddy. How do we get in touch with you? Because people are gonna, you know, question. Has there been a strawweight fight, like a men's strawweight in New England in the past, MMA?
I think there was one in Maine before.
Okay.
But not in Massachusetts.
So here we go, brother. You're making history.
Exactly.
You're making history here. So you know what, Dan?
I'm trying to do something.
This interview is gonna go out, and I can't wait. I can't wait for the comments. You know, I think it'll be a little quiet there. We'll see what happens, but I'm sure the chat.
It'll be a little bit quiet.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
All right. So the chatter will be going, at least from people pumping up the division, and I'm gonna keep pumping it up, man. I'm for change, and I'm for, you know, giving everybody a
Just wait
chance.
till this fight is done.
Yeah, brother. I'm all over it, my friend.
I'll get people talking, you know.
All right, Dan. Thanks for coming on. I'll be down Triforce down the line because that fight's a little ways away. And yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you training at 115. See the lightning.
Right.
See the little tornado in Triforce.
Oh yeah, you'll see it happen.
All right, brother. Thanks so much for coming on, and I'll see you pretty soon, bro.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right.
Have a good one, man.
All right.